The project had a second part, a part of creating an early warning system meant to support the entrepreneur to identify their difficulties and the best proceedings that they could follow in order to save their value in business. And for this early warning mechanism, our team went side by side with Early Warning Europe, coordinated by our colleague Morten Moller. Dear Morten, good morning, and thank you for being here today with us. Morten is the coordinator of Early Warning Europe network. And dear Morten, I would like to tell us for the beginning, what is an early warning system and how does it work in Europe? Maybe an example of 1-2 good practices?
Yes, hello. Good morning, Alina. Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for the invitation. Well, as defined by the EU Insolvency Directive, it's a system where businesses that come into trouble, they get a detection, alert, information, and advice on what are the best actions to take in their situation. And the whole purpose is basically that viable companies get a chance to turn the situation around.
And can you tell us 1 or 2 examples of good practice that you've been seeing in your experience?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you know, just to be selfish, I can start with my own country here, Denmark, where we have a very simple system where the tax authority alerts all companies when they don't pay tax or VAT on time, and that could be any kind of tax. You know, it could even be, you know, dividend tax on stocks or something like that. So any kind of missed payments above a minimum threshold, and then they inform them of the existence of an advisory service where company owners can go and talk to business consultants and business mentors to help them turn the crisis around. That would be, you know, from a Northwest European perspective. But I can also try and give you an example from another corner of Europe, which could be Spain, where we have a model where regional authorities and employer organizations for SMEs, you know, they have one-stop shops where there are specialized business consultants who can help SME owners either if they come physically or if they call on the phone on, you know, diagnosing them and finding out what do you need, what's the best thing you can do in this current situation, and thereby also solving things of, you know, of a financial nature, human resource problems, organizational things, and so on. And these guys are really good. You know, they know the industries, they know their local geography.
This is how Romania thought to implement also the system, and we will see how it will work. It was implemented like an alert system by ANAF, also like an information website on a Ministry of Justice or Ministry of Economy website, also helpline of consultants also will be implemented by the Ministry of Economy. Sorry for Ministry of Economy, I don't know the name in this moment, but when we drafted the law it was...
It's okay, in Romanian it's fine.
Yes, and also we're thinking about a mentorat system. During the process of transposing the directive in Romania, there was a survey in order to understand if we have such systems implemented, such system of mentorat implemented in our country. And what we find out was that in Romania, mentorat is like a premium service with a cost of over 100 euro per hour. And the directive and the early warning system is looking at this kind of support free of charge and confidential. Considering what we have and what we want to have, Can you please tell us what is actually a mentor in an early warning system and what he is supposed to do?
Yes, because someone who calls themselves mentors and charge 100 euros per hour, they're consultants. They're not mentors. The mentors, they're senior business people. They give their time free of charge to help others. And I know that this whole idea sounds revolutionary, probably to you as well. Every time we introduce it in new places, there's always this reaction that this will not work here. But it actually works everywhere we try in all corners of Europe and even outside Europe. These mentors, many of them are recently retired and others are about to retire, so they actually have the time to help others, and they're not a stage of their career where they're building CVs and trying to get the next management position. They've done all that. They know about the relevant industry. They can go and help the entrepreneurs to plan their way out of trouble and help them to actually execute the plan. So they help the mentee, the entrepreneur, to get an overview, and they challenge them. They ask all the difficult questions. They challenge the way that the mentee has always done things, because there's a reason why a company is in trouble, and they support them in making tough decisions. That could be firing someone because you have to cut costs. So the kind of tough things where it's good to have a professional by your side, that's what the mentor does.
Because you said something earlier about the consultants and the mentors, can you underline some differences between the consultant and a mentor?
Yeah, because it's fundamental. It's very important to draw this line. The mentor does not make decisions on behalf of the company. The mentor does not produce anything. It does not do anything on behalf of the company. And if on the other hand, if you go and hire a consultant, as you mentioned, Alina, with the 100 euros per hour, if you go and hire someone like that, then that person will go out and produce things like plans, budgets, services, products, designs, and so on. But the mentor doesn't. The mentor always keeps the entrepreneur in the driver's seat. So, the mentee is the one who goes and does things. The mentor just helps them make all these decisions, make these plans, budgets, and actually implement them. That's also why the mentor does not hold liability in legal terms for what happens in a mentoring process.
I have a last question, or let's say, what are usually the challenges for implementing a mentor's networking, and if you have some tips and tricks to overcome those challenges?
Well, there's always a challenge at decision-making level. Sometimes it's hard to get the decision makers or the politicians to actually believe that someone will do something free of charge to help others. But now we're in 14 different EU countries, so it works. And then the next one is, of course, when in the first phase, when you build up a group of mentors, to get the right profiles in people who are not there as a shortcut to, make money after the mentoring, or try and get into a board of directors in a successful turnaround company or something. Get the right people who are actually there for the motivation of helping others.
Okay, so in Romania we have the legal framework to implement an early warning system. We have willingness to be involved in this mentorat system, and now we have to do something to really make things work. Morten, thank you for your intervention. Hope to see you soon in a collaboration on this system to make it work in Romania too.
Well, thank you very much for the invitation. Good luck with everything. Mulțumesc for having me here.